Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Millennial Smart, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. Timestamps are down in the description box below, or as always, right there, pointing directly at it. You can't see me like John Cena. You definitely can't see me, but I'm pointing at the timestamps that are in the pinned comment section. Okay, we got it. Okay, running gags over with. Let's talk about what we're going to discuss in the news today. Apparently, we now know why Andrade ended up in AEW so fast. The plot thickens. Reby Hardy stalker. Yeah, that's a real thing. Reby Hardy has a stalker, apparently. Cowboy, what? Who is this? Who is this Hangman Page you speak of? The Cowboy? More like Soyboy? Whoa! And this pro wrestler just got fired because he's a Nazi, apparently. We'll get all into that right now, but first, we should probably start it off with the thumbnail. The guy with the thumbnail that I absolutely clickbaited you with. Yeah, that's Andrade. All right, let's see what's going on with him, shall we? We shall. Alright, so we kick it off with WrestlePurists apparently dropping this tidbit, which they kind of already somewhat explained, and we kind of figured that was going to be the case regardless, but here we are, right? Here we are now talking about it, but confirmation, okay? Multiple WWE sources confirmed that Andrade was cut due to numerous wellness violations over the last year. WWE chose to cut him as opposed to paying him another 90 days to keep him from performing elsewhere. So there was a no non-compete clause. Like I said, we kinda had speculation earlier on as to whether or not this was true. But what I didn't know was Buddy was failing his wellness violations over the last year. Numerous. My boy was on the cocaine. He was hitting up the Yonqui. He was playing with the nose candy. No, I'm not. That is defamation, Devontae. You don't know what drugs this man has done, okay? It could have been something that was supplemental, right? It could have been something that had something to do with steroid. No, Devontae, don't say the S word, okay? People get mad at the S word. We don't know specifically what Buddy was doing as far as drugs are considered, because that's what the wellness violation is. But my thing is, let me see if I understand this real quick. Boyo got cut because he was doing this, whatever drug substance, numerous times, right? Meaning he was told not once to stop, not twice to stop, but more than twice to stop, because that's what numerous means. And he kept doing it. So put aside the argument as to whether or not Buddy is innocent, because 9 times out of 10 they typically, to be fair, I remember Paige saying something about her drug usage, but she lied, and then she came out on her podcast and she said no, she was actually doing legitimate fucking drugs, right? Like, she made up some bullshit about how she needed to use certain medications for her injury or whatever that she was going through back in 2017, but in reality she was actually doing drugs, and she came out and said it on her podcast. So, for people who are going to be there covering for Andrade, keep that in mind, okay? People do lie. People do try to make themselves look a hell of a lot better. If it was anything that was legitimately not of consequence, I'm pretty sure WWE wouldn't go out of their way. They wouldn't go out of their way to legitimately go after them, right? Look at Jeff Hardy, for an example, with his situation when he got fired by WWE a couple of years ago. He kept pointing to the fact that, hey, I didn't do drugs. Test me for drugs. Notice how he keeps saying drugs, because he probably didn't do any drugs, but clearly you were under the influence, and they dropped you because of that. They dropped you after asking you to go to rehab to get your alcoholism into check. And what did you do? Instead, you tried to play the game, the lying through omission game, by constantly having people harp on the fact that you didn't do drugs when you didn't know, or I didn't know, or no one knew what they were going to legitimately test you for. You probably didn't do any drugs. But alcohol is still something that you shouldn't be doing when getting inside the ring. No. But this is not about Jeff Hardy. He's getting his life on track. This is about Andrade, right? My question is, now that he's in AEW and he's already gone through this numerous amount of times, right? Wellness violations and all this stuff. He already proved that he was a backstage nuisance of some kind, right? He already shown you what he was doing in WWE was being somewhat of a fucking nuisance. Again, this is not a guy who's a proven commodity in any sense of the fucking word. Why did you bring him back? What was the purpose? I'm really starting to actually think, before I just threw it out there, but I'm actually starting to think that he was legitimately brought back just to pop a number. Really, what do you do with this guy? Okay, he faces a Kenny Omega, and then what happened after he's done facing a Kenny Omega? Oh, that's right, he falls off the face of the fucking world. But you know what I find funny? You know what I find hilarious? Even with all the stuff going on with the expose of him apparently filling his drug policy or whatever, even with all the stuff in regards to the backstage nuisance this guy happens to be, the fact that people now still want to go out of their way to cope for this man is amazing. Look at some of these comments that I was seeing, and mind you, I understand most of these comments are coming from people who are AEW marks, hardcore AEW marks, but it's just the shameless behavior is so crazy. Look at this guy right here. Some of these people you might be familiar with. I'm not even surprised Andrade went back to the Fed. He's so shameless. He meat rides the black and gold merchant. Whatever the fuck any of that mumbo jumbo means, right? But that's what he said early on. That's what he said almost 2 years ago when Andrade came back to WWE. What did he say yesterday? Whoa, FIFO is reporting that Andrade is gone from WWE already. So to be fair, that was a couple of weeks ago. What he actually said yesterday when he actually shown up to AEW was, and I quote, wait, where is it? This is craziness. Oh wait, bit of a pit stop real quick. I found this post from this guy also. From the one, Andrade will be open to staying in AEW if Tony Khan makes a better offer, I'm assuming, than WWE. Keep that man. Try to sign him. I genuinely hopes he stays. His current run has been great, and I feel like he has so much more to do in AEW. This is what he was saying. And then he went to NXT. And essentially, like, the shameless behavior, bro. But this is what he said when he came back to AEW last night. Whoa! FIFO is report. No, I'm sorry. Again, that's what he said 2 weeks ago. Andrade should have never left AEW. I take him back. I hope he learned his lesson. No shame whatsoever from these Neanderthals, bro. No shame whatsoever. Look at this guy. What's his name? AEW Defender. He said, "Oh god damn it, I'm over Andrade. His exit from AEW left a bad taste in my mouth, and I wasn't a fan of his before that. Luckily, he's a heel lifer, so I don't have to like him. My boos will be authentic." Why they always gotta make themselves sound like they're an anime meme or some shit like that? Oh, but you wanna hear something crazy though? For the first time ever, I actually somewhat agree with Dave Meltzer. And I think you will too. Hear this man out for a second. I know a broken clock lands on 12 twice, okay? It lands on 12 twice. Check it out.
He's coming off of a run that wasn't good in WWE. Then he was fired, over disciplinary reasons. He had lots of problems in AEW over disciplinary reasons. Guys who get fired by WWE and go to AEW. Is there a case of a success of a guy who was actually fired by WWE and went to AEW? Can you come up with, I think there probably is one somewhere, but I can't off the top of my head come up with one. Because Toni Storm left on her own. Obviously Ricochet left on his own. Bryan Danielson left on his own. But the guys who were fired, you had William Regal, not a success, went back as soon as he could. Malachi Black, didn't do jobs, left. Andrade, Rusev definitely, as much as that was the most ill-spent money Tony Khan probably ever did, or among them, I shouldn't say the most, but among them, was that one, because the guy, it's like this guy wouldn't do anything in AEW, and then he goes to WWE and he's putting over Dominic. I mean, he wouldn't put over guys twice as good as Dominic in AEW. And, the guys, it's like, as people who know Andrade have told me, it's like he'll always think of Tony Khan as secondary to WWE, no matter what. And, that's, we're asking for trouble.
Now, ignoring this fact that this clown completely overshadowed everything he was saying about Andrade by burying random WWE people that legitimately didn't get over because Tony Khan didn't give them anything to work with, and they probably felt to themselves, if this guy's not going to give me anything to work with, and it feels like eventually I'm going to get released or fired or whatever the case may be, I should probably build up my stock to get hired back by WWE. I mean, I don't know why Meltzer had to tie all those guys in there. It's pretty obvious what the case is. They thought they were going to make it big in AEW. They didn't make it big in AEW. They knew their stock was plummeting, so now they want to make sure to, keep their credibility intact so they can eventually go back to WWE, where Triple H is now running things, who wasn't previously running things when they were in WWE the last time. I don't know why he's playing still. I try to give the man credit, and he just takes it all away, right? But the part about Andrade being a risk that is completely unnecessary, I do agree with him on that. I do. Again, I said it once, and I'll say it again. Ignore what all the fanboys are saying. I gotta ask, what is the beneficial reasoning to have Andrade back? I don't get it. I don't understand it. He seems like a risk, an unnecessary risk. But hey, maybe I know less than what you guys know, and you can let me know in the comment section apparently what I'm missing out here in regards to Andrade. But with that being said, getting on to the next topic.
No, la policía, no, porco Dios.
Folks, we have now entered the age of everyone being completely and utterly terminally online. Now, not just the fact that this utter retard went out of her way to post this. Why would you do that? You're more or less just giving an incentive to other weirdos to go stalk you, because they're probably thinking to themselves in their little deranged noodle brain that, hey, if she just posted this psychopath coming to her house, maybe she might post my psycho ass coming to her house and doing the exact same thing. The fact that you would even post anything in regards to your area for people to reverse image search that kind of shit, they do that kind of shit all the time. That's how they typically stalk people. You put yourself in a dangerous situation every time doing stupid shit like that. But here's my thing. Fuck you for a moment, okay? You want to put your stupid ass self in situations, then by all means, go ahead and do that because of your, again, internet brain, Twitter, fucking Instagram, Facebook mom vlog account, fucking clouts. Don't put your kids in a predicament by your fucking urge to have to post everything online. Like, don't do that. Like I said, you give people the incentive to want to get the exact same reaction by posting this and suggesting that it's okay to do. But something else that caught my attention too, when reading that little text in the beginning of the video, she said shoot, which is a dangerous thing. I completely agree. She said stalk, which is obviously also a dangerous thing. But notice how I'm prioritizing this, right? The first thing I said was shoot, because that's deadly. Stalking, because that could lead to something deadly. You know what I'm not gonna say? You know what I'm not gonna cobble up again in my fucking noodle brain to present as if it's something that's completely negative in the sense that it's on par with shooting and stalking? I'm not going to care to want to let everyone know that he called me a slur. Again, this is what I mean by being internet brained. Why are you conflating slurs with stalking and murdering you? Bro, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. But Matt Hardy, he ended up coming at the defense of his wife. Obviously, he's gonna do this because that's her husband, even though he just got buried by her not even a day ago or 2 days ago, right? He went out of his way to say this, and I quote, "It's never okay." Well, okay, man, thank you for your guidance. I don't know, like, thank you for telling me that, stalking, shooting, and apparently slurs are never okay. Sure. Thank you, Matt, for your guidance and wisdom. Holy fuck, these people and their fucking buzzwords, man. Be humans. Just for a fucking change, be human. But then Reby Hardy, she said, I will never be nice to anyone who isn't nice to me. I will not show respect to someone who doesn't show respect to me, or show me respect, or whatever the fuck she says. Keep that in mind and consider the source when these locals who constantly overstep boundaries and put my kids' safety in danger come out the woodwork. These are not fans. These are entitled weirdos with no boundaries. You're right. I am not one of you. I will not turn the other cheek. I don't play your stupid bless your heart sneak diss game, and I will not be your doormat. Fuck around and find out. What are you talking about? What the actual fuck is this lady talking about? How did you just cobble all those things into the same thing is beyond me. So, okay, first off, you're putting your children's lives in danger just as much as these weirdos are, because, again, you're posting videos, and understand, once again, they can look at the background of those videos and they can find out where you live. You would think you would know this, Miss Grandma Internet Babe. But then you start going on some weird tangent, like you're trying to make yourself sound like you're so fucking important or popular that, I don't know, it almost comes off as if you're fucking gleeful that these people are stalking you because you want to feel like you're a fucking celebrity or some shit. I will not turn the other cheek. I don't play your stupid bless your heart sneak diss game. What? This is your brain on the internet, folks. That's all I gotta say about this. You look at this person, you see how this person carries themselves. This is your brain on the fucking internet. Don't be this terminally online. Actually go outside. Actually, I think she put one of her hashtags, ironically enough, go touch grass. No person who has to put everything online and put her kid's life in danger. No, you, my darling, may need to be the one who has to eventually touch grass. You're way too old acting like this. Grow the fuck up. Handle your business like an adult. Talk to the police. Get this situated so no one does this again and puts you in harm's way. Rather than the first thing you do, like some 16-year-old fucking Instagram model, is pick up a cell phone the minute you feel as if you can farm it. The fuck is wrong with you? The more and more I start to actually get deeper and deeper into social media, the more and more I just want to skippity myself in Minecraft.
Just had some 11-year-old literally ask me if I would pop a titty for the boys.
You know, I've never been the kind of man to care so much for money, right? I've always felt that whatever I actually did in my life, if I can make enough money to eat, to sleep, to keep the lights on, and make sure everyone around me is protected with clothes and everything that's on my bag, I'm a happy man, you know? I'm a happy man. Any other, I don't know, expenditures could be spent on things that make me even more happy, like video games and weed. But apparently, I'm missing out. I'm missing out on the luxuries of life because I see these people and clearly they don't have a care in the fucking world, right? Apparently I thought all you needed was the bare minimum to be happy, but I see these fucking losers right here who are probably 10 times richer than I'll ever be in my entire life, probably make more money in the year than I will make in my entire life, and they're complaining about this. So, bear with me. This is the supposed cowboy, Hangman Page. He went on a tangent that has something to do with his promo, right? Talking about the World Heavyweight Championship stuff with Samoa Joe. And then he ended up reposting this directly underneath that post after quote tweeting it. Fuck ICE airing commercials during Dynamite. Let him know. And then he legitimately, I guess, sent a hate mob at the people who are... Oh, these retards. Oh my God. This man actually left a link down in his little fucking page. No pun intended, right? advocating for people, his fans, the AEW stands, who are already demented in the fucking head as is. He wants them to ambush and send a hate mob to the people who is hosting his television show. The people who are giving him a platform to ply his trade. He wants his fans in the AEW stands to attack them because what? They disagree with his politics. Is this some cowboy shit? Is this cowboy shit to you folks? Bro, this has got to be the most wokest cowboy I've ever seen in my fucking life. But it gets better, right? Because apparently having to be able to pay for a slot in order to air your commercial, apparently that means if you air the commercial, that automatically means you're aligned with them people. Or more importantly, you want them to be harassed. You want them to take the money that they're paying your company to air in that time slot that inevitably comes back to your bank account. You want them to be harassed for having different politics than you, and you send your fans after them, and your fans say stupid shit like this. So you have this one guy who was like, ICE is extremely necessary since 20... Oh yeah, that's right. I highlighted nothing but based fucking comments. I forgot. We got to actually keep the actual neutral voice. All these comments are based. I forgot. Got my little things mixed up. ICE is extremely necessary since 20 million illegals were let into the country between 2021 and 2024. These people broke the law and need to be deported. Also known as Andrade, which means you get to leave the country, come back into the country, and get booted right back out of the fucking country. DJ Storms. Guy's a woke loser, so of course he'd act like a juvenile. He's already ruining the aura of his second world title reign. Certainly didn't take long. Base Storms. They paid for it, did they not? And half the country basically voted for it, did they not? The money the government paid for that ad eventually filters to Page and his co-worker. Base, that's what I'm saying. Why mismanage the bag just to be virtuous on things that you don't have to open up your mouth about? Seriously, you didn't have to do this. You always see, this is the problem with Hangman Adam Page, and I think CM Punk, unironically, because he's kind of the same person Hangman Adam Page happens to be. This is what Punk was talking about. You keep going out on a limb on things that don't need you to go out on a limb for. You could have just shut up. You could have just not ran your mouth, and you would have been okay. Instead, you have to virtue signal for what? I don't know, right? Oh, this other guy posted based. Based. All I gotta say is based. Base photo. Hangman, do everybody a fucking favor and go out there and wrestle. Shut up and wrestle. No one gives a fuck about your politics. No one gives a fuck about how you feel in regards to ICE. We don't. We get it. Amigo, I was on a plantation field and I learned Spanish from a bunch of vatos who told me, hey, caliente this kid up so we can actually get back to work and teach him a few fucking words that'll probably get him in trouble with everybody else in Mexico, hopefully where he gets shipped off at. But seriously, Hangman, all the AEW wrestlers, all the virtue signalers out there who wants to pat themselves on the back because they want everybody to know, hey, over here, this guy with the finger over his head, I don't want any of the attention, but I just want you to know that I'm being a good guy right here, right now. Don't just focus on me. Don't put the cameras on me. Don't look at my way. But just letting you know, while you're looking at me, the guy talking loudly, I'm a good person for the cause that I'm affiliated with. Now, do you want to pay me in cash or likes? I will take either. Fuck me, dude. Shut up and go back to wrestle. Shut up and wrestle. Hey, man, shut up. Shut up and wrestle, little boy. Oh, are you okay? Whoa, I did not see this coming. That's a thigh slapper right there, boys. Right? The Odies and the Goaties. Am I right? You get it? Not see this come. I'll be here all week. WXW terminates collaboration with Marius Alni. I think I said that right. Or do I say Alni? After considering all circumstances, we are refraining from further with Marius Ani, the WXW European Championship is hereby vacated. Now, I'm not sure if I can show. I'm not sure if I can show this video on YouTube. I'm gonna leave a link. It's via Reddit, and yeah, this guy. Let's just say this, okay? Let's just say this. He's not too happy with his country at the moment, and let's just say there are certain people that apparently he's not too happy with. I can't tell you who those people are, and I'm not gonna sit here having to let you know which one of these groups he's talking about, okay? But what I am here to tell you is, yeah, you probably shouldn't be playing the H-Man if you have a job. You know, the H-Man with the mustache and the arm that goes up and it goes right back down with the hand kind of extended in a certain way. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be playing that guy on your social medias and promoting it if you're trying to keep a job. Now, I am a kind of person who sees free speech and I say to myself, free speech. But obviously, free speech is per government. It has nothing to do with the person. And if a person wants to react to what the hell you do I agree with it? Not necessarily, but damn's the rules. But there was another post that said, and I quote, in a statement after WXW announced the end of his collaboration with the German wrestler and the WXW European Champion Marius Al-Ani, a TikTok now deleted, which by the way, that's in the link that I can't show because I'm not sure if YouTube's too cool with that kind of stuff. He said, Germany, it's time to show our colors with the music of the H-Man guy with the little funny mustache, AH is what I like to call him, marches to a song called Erica, which I'm pretty sure is the song that we heard in the background. Now, I don't know anything about this wrestler. I don't know what the fuck a WXW happens to be, but there are people who are very, very, very angry. They are very, very sourpussed about all this stuff. And to that, I'm just going to tell you right now, I personally don't give even the slightest fuck how a person feels. Now, as far as the company is considered, I understand why they will want to distance themselves from something like this because it's highly controversial. But I mean the virtuous fans who stand on this kind of hill. You know how many people, again, it never ceases to amaze me, the lack of self-awareness from the people who I see actually virtue signal about this kind of stuff. Now, do I think what he did was bad? I guess to a certain degree, probably not the best thing to do as far as promoting that kind of stuff because it is hatred. It is hate-filled, you know, not really a person who advocates for that kind of stuff unless it's based and it's a joke, more importantly based. I'm not the kind of person to advocate for stuff like that, but at the same time, you know, he said it on his social medias, and here you are, Mr. and Mrs. We love the juice! I said juice, as in drinking juice, okay? Don't get me, YouTube. We love them! They are the favorites! They are the best in the fucking world! Okay, cool. Have that opinion. But then you can't at the same time have in your comments, Free Palestine! Free Palestine! I know people like to play this fucking weird game where they're like, Israel has nothing to do with the juice! The juice, drinking orange juice, okay? They like to pretend as if these two things aren't conflated at all. So, you know, they say things like, you know, we're anti-Zionist, but at the same time, you know, we know what they actually mean. Which again, if you want to actually be, you know, jokesters about it and, you know, you hate everybody equally like I do, then fine. Join my camp. Come on this side, okay? We've been through this before. Do an Andrade. Jump over this side right here. But you can't, at the same time, virtue signal over this whole situation. You know, it's a double standard. The way you apply your standards is completely a double standard. You can't say on one hand, Free Palestine, but then at the same time, you're, you know, going after a guy who is kind of essentially saying the same thing without explicitly saying the same thing because you guys are kind of aiming at the same people, right? But of course, Devontae, you don't know what you're talking about. Devontae, you don't understand. Okay, a Zionist is a Zionist, and a Jew is a Juice. Don't conflate the two, Devontae. There are two different things. Sure. Okay, I'll play this game with you. I'm not gonna play this game with you. It's a boring game. But sure, you keep playing that game. And you die on that hill, but everybody's upset about this. All I'm saying is keep it consistent. Don't virtue sitting on one hand about something that pertains to one thing, and then virtue sitting on something that completely is the antithesis of, you know, the thing you're currently going after him for, because you kind of support the same thing just from a different affiliation. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you don't get what I'm saying? That's probably because you're one of them. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you felt about today's video. I need to hear some opinions about Mr. I don't know, Nine Miller. You know, Mr. I like to cook my cookies in any kind of gas. Gonna stop myself there. How do you feel about Mr. Soyboy shit over here? Mr. Hangman, I like to lift up my skirt and bend over Adam Page. How do you feel about Reby Hardy apparently not knowing how to get off online? And how do you feel about Andrade El Idolo snorting that cocaine? You know, kind of hitting up that sugar booger, you know, that booger sugar, you know, that nose candy, if you know what I'm saying. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smark, and I'll be catching you fine folks later. Deuces! Ah, gotcha. And a P. Ice.